Squash XL Pro is an elite team that work hard to train, play and run squash events on our journey to climb the world rankings. Like, subscribe, comment, pick up some of our merch on Teespring.
And welcome back for this, the second semi-final. The men's semi-final it is in the red. Joel ARSCOTT against TEMWA CHILESHE in the white. And Shelley Kitchen joining me now as we look at this match. We've had a couple of extended matches, which has pushed it back a little bit. But Shelley, what we can expect from this is it's never a quick match between these two, is it? They know each other's games inside out. I think that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, these guys are training together, every day, living together as well. So every time they play, it is a long match, competitive match. They know each other's games pretty inside and out. Yeah, so expecting this to be a long match.
Well, what really made us run a little bit late, and we said that in a nice way, was Leo Fatialova against Joe Smythe, which went the full distance of 5 games. Great comeback effort from Smythe, but not quite enough in the end. Fatialova taking that match. The other matches today was Glenn Templeton against Sean Wigan. Wigan taking that in straight. And then we've just had Luamba Chileshe defeat Elijah Thomas in straight, albeit that there was some lengthy rallies in there, and perhaps a little bit closer than the scoreline of 11-6, 11-7, 11-6 indicated. So he's through to the men's final. And now this match, ARSCOTT against Chileshe, will be an interesting one. The two match officials will need to be on the ball and be decisive with what they're saying there as well, because these guys they'll look for an opening, and they'll play it tight, won't they?
Now the strings gone from Temwa. I think he broke his strings last night as well,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
he probably should have 3 or 4, maybe 5 rackets in his bag.
The way he's going.
I think the strings are breaking at the top, so just clipping, possibly clipping the side wall and breaking the string at the top, possibly. But yeah, pretty frustrating when that happens. But I think with all Temwa's rackets, they'll be pretty strung at the same tension,
Right.
and
So
strung at the same time. So
What is the main string that is going to break generally? Is it usually at the top, or is there general strings that break more than often?
Oh, they usually just pretty much break in the middle of the racket. That's
Right.
where yeah, if you're hitting it in the middle of the ring, most of the time. But sometimes you get some strings, faulty strings sometimes, or it just clips something on the court and just manages to break that string at the top of the racket.
Well, it's interesting between the 3 main racket sports that in tennis they can break a lot more in the middle because of using so much topspin. With badminton, quite often near the top actually. And as you're describing here, that's a nice shot by Joel ARSCOTT, playing the ball down decisively and getting a 5-2 lead already.
Yeah, it's gone pretty quick, I think.
Yeah.
Joel
Which is
had
unusual for these two.
Yeah, Joel didn't have a very good start yesterday to his match, so he's probably definitely learned from his lesson. I think he didn't practice on the courts yesterday, whereas he was here training on the courts this morning with Luamba. So, whereas I don't think Temwa had a hit this morning on these courts. So, different approaches to in the way the guys have approached this match, I think, today. Temwa's probably a little bit not sure really with his racket, sort of the strings breaking as well. He's got to sort of get used to another racket.
How often did you used to break strings when you were playing?
Probably about every 6 weeks.
Okay.
And that all usually go at the same time. So you used to rotate the rackets at the same amount of time using each racket. So the guys just feeling each other out a little bit more. This is probably the longest rally of the game so far. Temwa's probably just buying himself some time in this game. He doesn't want Joel to sort of get too much more of a lead than 3 points.
What have we got now? Is that another string? No? Well, if he keeps on doing this, he'll run out of rackets.
Temwa probably thinks that the world is against him right now.
Yeah.
Strings breaking, and looks like he broke his watch, which
Yeah,
looks like a
exactly.
very nice watch. So, or maybe this is what he needed to kind of fire him up a little bit.
Well, they're grinning about it at the moment, but let's wait and see when the score gets closer and they get further on in the match and see if they're still grinning. And that customary high racket hold of Joel that he uses.
Oh, wow, great shot.
That's well done.
It's a beautiful touch there from Joel in the middle of the court. Great use of the height there from Joel, setting it up.
It was fast enough as well that it really pushed back quickly, so that Temwa had to get back there. Couldn't just wait for it. So no lid on that one.
Maybe this is the way the ref, Glenn Carson, is going to go, making the boys play the ball a little bit more.
Well,
Minimal interference, play the ball.
I have to agree with the officials on that one. I was thinking, well, ambitious call. And so far, trying to play there.
Oh, wow, great
Yeah,
boast.
that's. I've been playing the backhand side a lot. So he's going to go cross on that. So the 3-point lead with Joel just been a little bit stronger at the moment. Just a couple of errors that have really helped him gain that 3-point advantage. Had some lengthy rallies.
Oh, Temwa wasn't really quite sure about that ball.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it in the front there.
They were just blocked from the view.
Guys still trying to find their way a little bit, I think, in this match. No one's really sort of taking it to the other player as such. There's a match before this, Elijah and Luamba.
Oh.
They were really trying to control that tee, trying to volley so much.
There was a better shot there, though, from Temwa. Just took a little bit of pace off, used the angle, boasted it off the wall. And now the floating serve, plenty of height on it, pushing his opponent back.
Oh, wow. Nice shot.
That's a better shot.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, well, it wasn't your fast, decisive smash either. It was a more gentle shot, which gave him no pace back.
It's a better ball from Temwa.
And then the mistake when he actually had more options.
9-5.
Oh, so there's 2 errors. Now he's given the game point to Joel. So 10-5. A couple of errors really working to the advantage of Joel.
No let.
No let. 11-5.
ARSCOTT lead 1 game to love.
All right, so that is 11-5, the first game. Joel ARSCOTT over TEMWA CHILESHE. And now the start of the second game with the men's second semi-final. It is TEMWA CHILESHE against Joel ARSCOTT. And Joel really putting a good performance in the first game. Although there was a couple of errors near the end of that game which really helped him move forward and take it. TEMWA a little bit uncharacteristic with his errors. Broke a string as well, then broke his watch. Neither seemed to help. So hopefully after the break he's settled down a bit now. The winner of this match will play Rwanda CHILESHE in the final. And that'll be, of course, PSA points on the go, also with prize money as well. Oh, not quite on that one.
Too low.
So TEMWA CHILESHE taking out the first 2 points, including using that error there. These 2 players have played each other many, many, many times already this year, practiced with each other, and very familiar. Oh, nice pickup. It's in the rages as well. Nice touch. And good play there by Joel ARSCOTT, right up close to the wall, taking the pace off, giving his opponent nothing to come back with. We still have the women's semi-finals to come this evening or this afternoon. And the first match there will have Emma Miller against Lauren Clark. Miller from the Waikato and ranked 115th in the world. Lauren Clark from Moore Bay of Plenty. The second semi, Abby Palmer, 113th in the world, up against Lana Harrison from Auckland.
3-2.
So those matches are still to come today. And don't forget, tomorrow, if you're looking for some great squash action, we have from midday the women's consolation and then the men's plate, the playoff for 3rd and 4th. The women's final starts, well, its scheduled time is 2:40 p.m. And the men's final is 3:20 p.m. from there. So plenty of good squash action on the court to watch via stream, but also in person if you're close to the National Squash Centre, Unitec in Auckland.
Down. 4-2.
Oh. A question there.
No less. 5-2.
They were close to each other, certainly right up there in the backhand corner, close to the wall. Oh, just touching the 10. TEMWA was up there close.
And out. 3-5.
Shelley Kitchen will notice in this game, particularly in the second game, the pace, the players are slowing it down, grinding it out, really taking their time. There's no rush. You know, compared to a couple of the other matches that we're seeing, particularly with the 17-year-olds, and there's 3 of them in their draw. They want to finish it off, and that's experience of youth, or inexperience of youth, isn't it?
Yeah, I think these guys, they kind of know their game so well. They're always peer reviewing matches and match analysis and against other players and also against themselves all the time. There's no really easy point, I think, with these guys. The ball's pretty tight, some really good tram lines, stuff down, mostly down the backhand wall, which is the majority of where squash is played, I guess, at the top level. They're not really giving each other much. Maybe if one of them did sort of pick up the pace a little bit, try and volley a little bit more, even though they are volleying a lot. Yeah. But just to sort of, just wondering at what point is one of them going to sort of decide to change it a little bit or really sort of go for it more.
Yeah, it's just going to be good in the Nationals when they do get a little bit of variety of players around them, rather than the same sort of 8 to 10 guys that they've played against, whether it was in the unsquashable or whether it's been in so many regular tournaments. If you just get that, maybe Zach Miller in there, Evan Williams, a couple of other guys from Bay of Plenty, and was it Campbell Webster also from Wellington, just adding that little bit of variety, I think is really important.
Yeah, I think also a couple of players from the South Island are coming out. Chris van der Sam, who played the PSA Summer Series earlier and actually did really well in a lot of those tournaments. So he's moved back down to the South Island, but actually he's moving back up to Wanganui, I think, shortly. So he'll be at Nationals. He plays an excellent game, great touch game. He was training full-time in Auckland beginning of the year, so interesting when he comes back to Nationals what his form is like. Oliver Johnson, who's very high in our grading list, is playing a lot of squash in the South Island, so he's sort of committed to come up to the Nationals as well. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of variety that you guys and these guys have not been sort of up against.
Yeah, creates a bit more tension. I mean, this is great that these guys play each other a lot, and that's fantastic. But to see a new player in there, just to test them a bit more, that they don't know the game quite as well, and that's really important. Because it definitely is. I think getting used to playing different styles of game is really good. It's just where everyone is sort of based at the moment. Everyone's sort of got different commitments and things, and with COVID, I think people have sort of been a bit reluctant to sort of commit to sort of playing tournaments and booking flights and things like that. So with not knowing really what's going to happen, so yeah, extraordinary year. But these guys, they haven't first PSA match since March this year, and for them to come out and play really good squash like this last night and today, is pretty good. It just shows you they have been focused and training for a very long time, or they've kept up their training. Because we don't really know when the next tournament overseas will be. Australia even, we don't have any idea on that, do we?
No, we don't. No, we don't. We've sort of had the World Women's Championships was cancelled, postponed. That was supposed to be in December, so another world event, has had to sort of lose another world event. So we started our selection sort of process for the women for our New Zealand team, which we had one tournament, which was the Remuera Open, and it was going to be Royal Oak Open, then our Nationals. So that's all been put on hold. However, we do have a couple of great events for all our players to keep sort of working towards. These rallies are getting a little bit heated now, I think. So.
I can't see us going straight in this match. It's just not going to happen. I don't know when these two last played a straight game.
Yeah, I think they're actually getting some really good pickups as well. They're querying each other's balls quite a lot.
So it's fine for the top players at the moment. They've got the tournaments in. They've just had Manchester, they've got Egypt and the Middle East around that area. There's about half a dozen of them. But it's really the next group down that are in the difficult situation, aren't they? Whether it's this group or just, sort of like from 50 to 100 and then beyond.
Yeah.
have that opportunity, do they?
Not at the moment. I think everyone's just sort of has to sort of play locally, you know, and in their countries. Like for us, we're trying to just keep the satellite series going as much as we can this year in New Zealand, so these players can get some events. Next year, we'll definitely look at increasing the level of tournaments in New Zealand. What are other countries going to do? You know, who knows? I think it depends, sponsorship and how much national sort of associations can support the top players.
So game ball here with TEMWA CHILESHE dropping the first after a few little lax shots and a broken strings and broken watch. And opportunity here to... we're just waiting for him to break something else. Well, hopefully not.
Oh, TEMWA's just clipping the tin in quite a few of these rallies.
Yeah. So is that because he's just pushing it too much or just bad luck? Or I mean, he's got to go for
Yeah,
that.
it's just pressure. I think it's just pressure as well.
Yeah.
You know, one love down. He knows Joel's just going to keep it. Joel's been getting some fantastic balls back. It just pushes you to sort of go finer and finer until you're eventually hitting that tin. So, yeah, TEMWA just has to adjust his shots a little bit. Probably adjust his feet as well.
Oh, gee. Yeah. Well, there you go. That is game two. It is now one game apiece. Well, coming into this third game of the second men's semi-final, and TEMWA CHILESHE coming back to win the second over Joel ARSCOTT, who won the first, 11-5. And a change of shirt there for Joel ARSCOTT into the orange. We haven't really seen anybody stand out yet, have we, Shelley? I mean, we've had one game apiece. Really just a few little errors to help each player take their game. Oh, that's better shot. But nothing to really say, hey, look at me, I'm going to win this, is there?
No, not yet. They're just really close. That's with them just training, playing together, and and all their matches are always so close when they play. So I think more than likely it's probably going to be 2-all, and the fifth they're going to absolutely go for it. So.
What about TEMWA and Louis? I'm sure they've played each other, or certainly practiced a lot since Louis's been back in the country. Their styles are a little different, aren't they, in the way they play? Or would you consider them quite similar in the way they play as brothers? There's not too much in age between them either. Very close in most things.
Yeah, I think TEMWA likes to go for his shots a little bit more, I think. He has definitely changed his game the past 12 months, and he's sort of is kind of more length and playing the game, setting up the rallies a little bit more, but definitely coming through as juniors, he was sort of really a shot player and things. Whereas Luamba's just really fit, strong, is prepared to stay out there for a very long time to win points. But both of them are always working on their games. They've always got a plan in place and what they're trying to achieve. Yeah. Which is really good.
Well, there's always that sort of playing against a sibling, isn't there? And you must have found that. How many of your family played squash?
Oh, yeah, my sister played, so she's 4 years older than me. So, yeah, I think we had a few battles in our time.
I'm sure there were some tears sometimes when you were younger.
Yeah, a few tears, a few fights. But I don't know how old I was when I started beating her. So, but yeah, no, she's a big supporter of mine when I was playing.
Well, the first thing is to beat your brother or sister, then to beat your parents, or vice versa. You're going to try and beat your mum or your dad, then beat your brother or your sister, and then it's your main rival, of the same age group as well. There's always these little steps that you want to beat, these people that you want to beat throughout your career before you really start going nationally or internationally.
Oh, that's a big error really at 4-1 up.
Yeah.
It's just going to give Joel a little bit of light. Only 2 points behind now, but up to TEMWA to reassess. Doesn't seem to be too phased by it.
Or at least make your opponent play a shot. One shot at least. Don't give it away for free. And that was a freebie.
There's not many times people are hitting the ball out.
He'll certainly be ruining that one if Joel can come back and make it 4 apiece. better. We haven't seen too many of those forehand shots yet.
Oh, nice shot.
Yep.
Nice little cut the ball, take the ball off the... 3-4. Taking the pace off the ball for a little kill shot there. 2 bounces before the service box line. It's nice.
I'd like to see a little bit more of that forehand come into play for Temwa, and just a little bit more authority on it sometimes.
It's a great get from Temwa.
Oh.
Now we are 1-all, 4-all. After hitting the serve out
Yeah,
at
that serve
4-1.
is a little bit vital so far.
I think Joel's sort of, moving up the court a little bit more, hitting it harder. A little bit more aggressive with the shots, whether it's short or long.
Yeah.
So just sort of got a little bit of a second win, possibly. Yeah, I think they're probably going to regroup again at this point. So interference there, Temwa trying to get to the ball.
Yep.
Middle of the court, Joel really couldn't get away from the ball that quick. Oh, so nice drop there from Temwa. Ooh, maybe Joel missing a sort of good opportunity to volley there.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. One of Temwa's little
Yeah, play off the
trickle
balls
boast
there.
went up this time. Making a few errors on that trickle boast on the backhand, so nice to get one up.
Now, what I always like to see is people going forward and hitting the ball on the full, and some though just like to take that step back. There's a few of the top guys who like to step forward. Others, perhaps Paul Cole doesn't mind taking it back because that's just his style.
Yeah, I think that was a winner. That's a good call by the ref.
Yeah. Because it's also difficult with the officials when they're down low at the same level, or whether they've got the advantage of being up a little bit higher, being able to get more of an overview.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that yesterday when they came into the setup of the courts. Especially on those front shots, most of the time both players will be still at the front of the court, so it's quite hard to see. You are probably relying on the players as well as honesty sometimes for the front of the court. Oh wow, it's a great boast.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go there for Joel.
Yeah, and he kind of ran across in front as well, so it was a difficult one for him. But there was no option for Chileshe at all.
Oh, it's a great shot.
Yeah. And he has to recover.
Ooh. Even the matches we've seen today, they're not shy to go for that cross-court volley nick off the serve, are they?
Exactly.
Oh wow, it's a great boast.
Down.
Oof.
8-5. Right box.
Yeah, you have to give these players a lot of credit. And also for people like Joe Smythe, who came back and really pushed Leo Fatialofa in the end, and showed a lot of guts. That, and I keep on saying, but he's going to learn a lot out of this tournament. Joe Smythe hasn't had the experience of any of the other players, or as much experience as the other players, but the way he showed guts.
Oh yeah, Joe's
yeah.
a great competitor.
Yeah, and that's a real advantage for him.
Yeah, he
Credit
was
to him for that.
made the New Zealand junior team as an individual this year, which didn't happen unfortunately on the Gold Coast, the World Junior Champs. But he worked really hard over summer. He worked really hard over the first lockdown. I know he was sort of running half marathons, Joe. So,
Oh goodness.
yeah, he's really always
nice
looking to improve his game.
I have to say, over this last year, watching these players intently.
Stroke to Chileshe.
Yeah, I think the line to the ball there.
Yeah.
Temwa, I think, was right there to play the ball.
I wasn't too sure where Joel could have gone, how he could have got out of those a relatively small corner, but in the end, though, it was blocking.
It's sort of, even though it was a really great job that most of us will probably never be able to get to, TEMWA was sort of right there,
Yeah, he was there.
on his back. So, yeah.
Well, it's a difficult one in that situation because you've done the good drop, but the player's right behind you.
Yeah, you've kind of hit the good length, so your opponent's played the boast, and you know, as you do, you just want to play a drop to sort of move them forward again. But yeah, it's a hard one.
That's it. Oh, yep, bit of credit there.
Yeah, I think TEMWA's just finding his rhythm a little bit more, taking in short. Those balls were going, just clipping the tin in the first, first and halfway through that second game probably, but now he's sort of adjusted his swing, follow through, and probably playing with a little bit more ease at the moment, being, 9-6 up in that point. So
I've got to say, over these last couple of years, but in particularly the last 6 to 12 months, all of these players here, particularly in the men's and in the women's, have improved outside. Whether it's the fitness, the attitude, or whether it's playing results. As TEMWA CHILESHE takes the third game for a 2-game-to-1 lead. And this second semi-final, TEMWA CHILESHE, Joel ARSCOTT. CHILESHE just working his way back into the match very nicely in the second and third games. Seemed to find his rhythm a lot more, and Shelley Kitchen, I'm not saying that Joel ARSCOTT went off the boil, but it was more the rhythm finding of TEMWA. He just seemed to find that groove, didn't he?
yeah, I think so. Sorry, I was just going to. I was wondering what the ref was going to say there at the edge of that call.
No problem.
Yeah, pretty even match, really. I think TEMWA stopped making it as many mistakes. Joel was quite aggressive throughout the second half middle of that third game. But then TEMWA just had some really good shots. He finished off the points really well with a few sort of trickle boasts and some nice short balls. Oh, it's a great shot.
And out. 1-1.
Hesitated, was going to take it on the full.
Yeah, I think he was really trying to volley that ball, but sort of just got away from him, and you can sort of see it was possibly heading for that nick in the back forehand corner.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. You think you get it, maybe it's just too far away. I'll let it go for the backhand corner, and then it just bang fades away and gone.
That's a great shot from Joel.
That's what we want to see him do, is actually step forward and take that sort of shot, although he hasn't had too many opportunities to do it. TEMWA hasn't.
Yeah, I think as soon as anything's loose, Joel's just onto that ball very quickly and it's putting it away. So 2 quick points really from Joel. So TEMWA's got to be thinking he's got to be hitting those lines and length, and getting it out of the tin. Nothing in it at the moment, really, with the guys.
I'm waiting for that decisive point. We're not quite at that yet, are we?
Nice boast from TEMWA.
Yeah, I was sort of looking for a 5-3 or something like that. Maybe a 4-2 would be one of those points is going to push someone ahead. Haven't quite got there yet.
Temwa just greened that ball. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
I believe it was. That's better.
Some couple of quick movements there from the boys.
Bit of a body check there, I think, from both
Yeah,
players.
Joel didn't really want to move out of the way there, and Temwa. That's a great rally. Fast and
Nice.
furious. Really high standard here. Squash. Oh wow. Temwa read that cross court. Actually got it on his racket, but
Yeah. If he had been able to play it above the 10, I think he had that point wrapped.
it was one of the best rallies of the game so far, match so far.
Talking with Sean about how a young player like Joe Smythe will have to get used to the physicalness of some once he gets a little bit older, and like you can see with these two, there's a bit of physicalness there. It's not knocking each other out of the way, but you will run into each other. And that's where Elijah is, because he's got a little bit bigger as well. He's probably not feeling it as much. Joe Smythe will, once he gets bigger and a
Yeah,
little bit
I think in
stronger.
another year or so, Joe will
Yeah,
sort of
he'll be all right.
fill out a little bit. There seemed to be a growth spurt, I think, with our under-19 boys. We haven't seen them for a little bit with COVID, and then all of a sudden they come back and
Yeah,
they're sort of ducking to get under the doors of courts. It's just crazy.
I mean, the thing is, it does get a little bit more physical, and it's not people really barging into each other, but you do end up crossing each other's paths. And
Yeah, because I think you're trying to anticipate the ball as well. You know, like a lot of straight lines. Oh, that's a nice boast there.
Oh, you got it back? Yeah, couldn't play that one. Take it off your
He
head, I
can
think.
hit the ball, but he doesn't have to hit the ball.
As well.
But yeah, this point of the rally, yeah, if the ball's right in front of you, you're definitely going to be asking for a lead, hoping for a stroke. So you're not really going to take much to chance at this point of the match.
Yeah, I think it would have been in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Yep, gets the double.
Yeah, I think Temwa just took his time a little bit, whereas earlier in the games he would have been rushing that shot, and that's when those kind of shots were clipping the top of the tin, but just took his time and played in that backhand drop for a winner.
Well, we were waiting for that point, that decisive point. I think this possibly could be it. I'm going to go for this point as a very decisive one. If Temwa gets it.
7-6.
No, 7-5, isn't it?
Correction. 7-5.
Yeah. Okay, well,
You're
that to me
definitely
was-
going to know the score at this point,
Yeah.
at this point of the game. So
I mean, that was
Yeah.
a pretty important point. And so is that.
yeah, I think you're right with that sort of
Yeah.
decisive part of the game, and now
3
Temwa's
points is
3
tough to
points
come
away,
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
and 3 points away from winning
Yeah.
the match. So
And it's also a confidence thing. He's just won 2 or 3 points in a row.
Down.
I don't know if Temwa had to go for that drop there,
No, he
unless
didn't.
it sort of just bounced out and just caught him quite quickly.
The one thing that we know from Joel is that he almost plays better when he's behind in a match.
Yeah, he probably likes being the underdog.
Well, it's another one of those vital points. Let's see who's the most patient player here. Certainly all the movement, Temwa's having to do it.
Oh wow,
That's
that's a great shot.
Joel wasn't that far away from it, but it just stayed a little bit lower than what he expected.
Yeah, I don't think Joel was expecting it to sort of go that flick cross court.
Yeah.
Everything's really been down that backhand side. So yeah, good on Temwa to sort of mix it up a little bit. That's what happens when you're up 2 games.
Yeah, that was tight on the tin, wasn't it?
10-6. Match ball.
I was believing that
Yeah.
one wasn't actually going to make it over, but well done. Got the opportunity.
A couple of forehand shots. Haven't seen that really in this match
Yeah.
in a row. Oh,
Well done to Joel there, staying in it and pushing it deep into that forehand. Couldn't really put too much on it either.
Ooh.
I don't know how he recovered out of that one.
But he was going to ask for a lead then. Ooh.
17.
Thought the ref was going to say strike there, match
Yeah.
ball.
Oh. Finish it off. No.
Good call.
It's only because he's sitting in front of you. Using all corners of the court right now.
Oh, Temwa going for that boast. Oh.
He just nicked the corner as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good rally. Just
Certainly
above
high
the
quality.
tin there.
He's in the backhand side. Who's going to flick it over to the forehand?
There we go. And good length. What's Joel going to do? Oh, wow.
Yep,
Great rally.
That was well played.
It's the best rally.
Yeah. It used all corners of the court. There was shots down the backhand side and then flicking it across. And, well, saves a game ball.
Match ball.
Yeah. I think that's about the second or third now.
Oh.
Straight to ARSCOTT.
Joel needs to pick the ball up.
Yeah.
19. Match ball.
Try and serve it quickly.
Yeah, gee. Well, certainly not giving it away as Joel. He's making...
Oh. Some fast movements the past couple of points.
Yeah, Temwa's really having to work for this victory if he wants to win it in four.
Yeah, Joel's certainly not just going to hand it to him. Oh, that's up. Oh. Wow, good recovery there from Joel.
Great angle.
Oh.
Goodness.
Temwa went for it. I think Joel should probably just focus a little bit.
Yeah, don't smile, don't anything, don't even talk to him. Just like focus on what I'm doing. Oh. So I think that's 4 match points, I believe, that he's saved now. Oh.
How's it going to go now?
Are we heading for a 5?
Left box. 10-all.
All right, so 10-all, and this is the 4th. It is TEMWA CHILESHE leading by 2 games to 1. This is the second men's semi-final. PSA Invitational here at the National Squash Centre.
I don't think Temwa's sort of done too much too wrong.
11-10. Game ball.
Oh. No, he hasn't really done that much wrong, but Joel has done a lot right.
Yeah, Joel's been taking it to him a little bit.
Oh,
Oh.
both of those shots did not bounce.
Handouts.
Wow.
11 all.
I don't know about you, Shelley, but I didn't see much bounce on either of those last two shots. Both kept so incredibly low. The players were in good position. And a little bit of
Yeah,
relief.
go for that neck 3-wall boast.
Yes, lead. 11 all.
Well, you can hear the silence from us. As such, we were just waiting for the call. The let was given.
Oh, stayed in.
Did it? I don't know if we can get a replay of that. We might just see if we can check it out ourselves.
12-11. Match ball.
Well, I think it went above the line but came in.
I don't think, if anything, if it did clip the line, it would have been at the front of the front wall.
Yeah.
But definitely not the side.
No. Right. This is match ball again. Number 5. Oh.
Oh.
They're in a tangle, those two.
12-11.
So at that point, Joel couldn't get out of the way, or didn't get out of the way. I don't know whether it was didn't or couldn't. Got the let. So
I think Joel thought he got out of the way and Temwa could play the ball.
Yeah. It's
But you know, you think you're thinking lots of crazy things when you're playing the game.
Handouts. 12 all.
oh.
Yes, let. 12 all.
Well, we're still there. And just a reminder, this is the 4th game, not the 5th.
Yeah, Temwa's had 5 match balls, I think, in this game. So
Still in. We have the women's semi-finals. They've been here for a while, warming up. Still to come as well. Busy day of squash. Into that corner.
that's a great shot. Joel got that one.
Oh. What did he just do there?
I think it bounced up. Well, Temwa wasn't expecting it to go that high, I don't think.
Well, it's now the game ball for Joel ARSCOTT.
Yes, left. 13-12. Game ball. Left box.
And certainly the officials are earning their dues here. There really hasn't been any free points at all, no free shots. Blake just
Yeah, working for every point here.
Down. Game to ARSCOTT. Game scores 2 all.
Well, Shelley Kitchen, it's no real surprise that this game has gone 5 in many ways. If you had have asked how's the game going to go to start with at the beginning of the match? We would have said 5.
I think I said that.
You did, actually. Although
No, wait, yeah.
opportunities that TEMWA had in the fourth, I think it was 5 game points, 5 match points that is. You probably wouldn't have expected it. It was a great fight back by Joel ARSCOTT. He was down around about, I think it was 6-10 at one stage, or very similar. So to fight back and then we had the dramatic,
Did you
long,
see that
long
ball?
rallies.
See that ball, how it kind of...
Some long rallies when they got to about 10-all, wasn't it? And some good quality play. You could have seen that anywhere around the world and caught it in a gold tournament or platinum tournament, and it wouldn't have been out of place.
Yeah, I don't think TEMWA did too much wrong, really,
No.
in the last of that end of the fourth game. But I think Joel changed his game a lot.
I think there was one forehand up close where TEMWA had the ball and it just sort of kicked up a little bit more than he expected, and it was perhaps the only shot that was really mistimed or misjudged.
Yeah, but Joel probably hasn't made an error probably for
Yep.
quite a long time now, so
Oh, nice.
great retrieving from TEMWA. Oops. Oh. It's the right shot.
Yeah, it was.
Just clip the top of the tin.
Yeah, it was so close to going over. That's nice. Come on,
Yeah,
finish it off.
Joel's getting a lot of balls back. So making TEMWA play a lot of balls. Wow.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a good play.
3-1.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
well, I don't think it was intentional.
4-1.
He cross-courted the ball and TEMWA was right in front of him. I
Yeah.
think he sort of crossed it. That was too far, over to that forehand. I think TEMWA came across a little bit as well. Joel's pretty confident now.
That's the opportunity. Ooh, nice recovery.
Joel just seems to be all over the court at the moment.
No, later on that one.
There was a little bit of interference, but not enough to...
No, no. I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're not going to change their mind.
No reds. And out. 2-4.
Well, I think if Joel had been able to win that point, get that 5-1 lead, your confidence is really surging and your opposition is down a little bit.
The intensity hasn't dropped off.
No.
That's for sure.
Particularly after
With
that
these
fourth game.
guys. Oh, wow, it's a great shot.
3-4.
Well, that's the sort of thing that TEMWA needs. It's just that great shot to bring them back into it. Rather than having to grind it, you grind it and then that great shot helps you.
He's pretty gutsy going for those shots. He tried a few of the forehands, those kills in the sort of back end of that fourth game, and they didn't go up. So, yeah, good on him just to keep on giving it a go. That's definitely confidence for you.
Yeah.
4-4.
And coming back to 4-all, it's valuable, very valuable. Just fought his way back, one good shot. An error earlier on, a good shot, and now back at 4, keeping the ball deep on the serve. Let's see if he's going to move forward and control.
Joel read that boast there.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's a
nice.
great shot.
Oh, well done. chopped away from it from his body there.
Yeah, well, it's just a loose ball, I think, from Temwa in that forehand, and can't really put Joel anywhere around that middle of the court. He's just, yeah, far too good with that straight kill or straight drop.
Down. 5-all.
All right, so both players carrying on very nicely in this, the fifth, after what can only be described as a very dramatic fourth game. And you'd expect the intensity to really fade a little bit, but it hasn't so far. Both players very fit, and that's mentally and physically.
If anything, they've sort of picked up the pace and trying to volley a little bit more.
That's oh, that's a great shot. The thing with that one is that it was taken from up high and directed on such an angle that if it hit the side and the front wall, it was going to stay very low and be difficult to get.
Yeah, they obviously practice those shots quite a lot. As a pro, that's what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Just making sure wherever the ball is on the court, you're confident with a few of your sort of favourite shots, which is always some people across court neck.
Down. 7-5.
All right, well, 7-5. He's got that 2-point lead, and I think I'm going to call this my vital point here, Shelley, because if Joel can win this one, he's going to take that 3-point lead.
That's what you said about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've had a few of them.
Cross court neck again.
Well,
it's pretty gutsy, because if it sort of didn't really go off, then he would have been 8-5 down. So.
Well, we've had quite a few of those vital points throughout the match. Not sure if I'll call this it yet.
We always knew it was going to go down to the wire, so they definitely haven't disappointed us.
Exactly, although there was so many opportunities
And out. 8-6.
for Temwa in that fourth game, around about 5 of them. There was when he had that 4-point buffer that really you'd expect to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think Temwa thought that Joel just sort of hit his fault. I think it was pretty good. Big point. Oh, wow. That's a great shot.
Yeah, well done.
9-6.
Well, he's got that 2 points to win, 3-point buffer up. But as we saw in the fourth game, doesn't seem to hold much weight.
Oh, wow. That's a great post. Great get from Joel as well.
Back in the rally, controlling it now.
Oh.
Down.
Well.
10-6. Match ball.
And is this will be the first match ball for Joel ARSCOTT. He's waited a long time for this. His opponent's had about 5.
Yeah.
Just a loose shot.
Wow. Joel's quite happy to just keep getting those balls back. Oh, wow. Oh, shot.
That's nice. Nice play. Starves off 1 match point against him. And a very nice play, stepping forward. Didn't necessarily do too much, but just knew the direction was going to help him out.
Oh, it's a great shot.
Well done. Well, there you go. That is a game, set, and match. Another long one, and that is a 5-game win to Joel Arscott. He will go through to the final, the men's final, where he will take on Luamba Chileshe, and that will be tomorrow afternoon. Thank you very much there, Shelley Kitchen, and well done to both players.